Hello everybody, and welcome to my introduction to Lua programming lessons. These lessons will be not an introduction to basics of programming. I assume you're all already familiar with programming concepts like variables, conditionals, loops, functions, arrays, some object-oriented programming, and so on. If you have already experience in programming languages like Python, JavaScript, Java, C, C++, etc., then you are good to go. To know more about the Lua programming or scripting language, go to the lua.org website and click on the About section. So here you have what is Lua. Lua is a powerful, efficient, lightweight, embeddable scripting language. It supports procedural programming, object-oriented programming, functional programming, data-driven programming, and data description. I recommend you to go to this About section and read through all of these informations. And now let's take a look on some of the best known Lua scriptable frameworks. So the first is the Corona SDK, which is the 2D game engine, and it has a Lua scripting API. Here it says Lua is currently the leading scripting language in games and has been utilized in Warcraft, Angry Birds, Civilization, and many other popular franchises. The next well-known engine is the default game engine. It has also a Lua scriptable API. And also Roblox. I never used Roblox, but you can find many video tutorials on YouTube using Roblox, and Roblox has also a Lua scripting API. And my favorite game engine, Lua game engine, is Love 2D. It is very simple. It is written in C++, and I think as a graphics backend it uses OpenGL, and it has also a Lua scripting API. And there is more Lua scriptable engines, like I think the Amazon's Lumberyard game engine is also scriptable in Lua. Crytek's CryEngine was scriptable in Lua, but from version 5 I think they dropped the Lua and replaced it with C#. So the next thing what we are going to need is an IDE, or an integrated development environment, and the best integrated development environment for Lua is ZeroBrain Studio. So go to studio.zerobrain.com and go to the download section, and here you can donate, but if you don't want to donate, you can just click on Take Me to the download page this time. And if you are using Windows, you have 32-bit zip archive or 32-bit exe installer. You have also for Linux 32 and 64-bit, and for Mac OS also. So I'm downloaded the Windows 32-bit exe installer, and I already installed it. And in the next part I'm going to go to ZeroBrain and just configure it. I have installed ZeroBrain into Program Files x86 folder on my C drive. So here it is, ZeroBrain Studio. Now you can see ZeroBrain Studio already ships with Lua, so you don't have to separately install Lua. If you go to the bin folder, you can see that it has Lua 5.1, Lua 5.2 and also Lua 5.3 support. Because Lua is an embedded language, Lua is already embedded inside ZeroBrain Studio. So here is the exe file, so you can just open it. So here on the left side you have the project, and in this on the root folder I'm going to right click and create a new directory, and I'm going to name it lessons-01. And in this directory I'm going to add the new Lua file, and I'm just going to name it hello Lua, and don't forget to add the file extension .lua. And now let's open this hello Lua and just print something on the console. So print, and inside quotes, hello Lua. And if you want to run it, you can click on this double play button, this icon, or just press the F6. So I'm going to click it, and here on my output was printed hello Lua. And one more thing, if you wanna customize ZeroBrain Studio so that you have also these large font sizes like me in the editor and also in the output console, you can go to the Edit, Preferences and Settings user, and here you can set the editor.font size. I have set it to 18, and the output.font size, which I set it to 20. And yes, one more thing, if you go to project and Lua interpreter, you can see that Lua is selected, which is Lua 5.1. If you want to use 5.2 or 5.3, then just click on these. I'm going to leave it at Lua 5.1 for these lessons. Before I get into coding, let's talk a little bit about the variables and data types in Lua. So we have the nil type, which is like none in Python or null pointer in C++, and every variable which has a nil value will be automatically garbage collected by Lua. Then we have a Boolean type, which can be true or false. Then we have the number type, and the number type can represent integers, floats or doubles, and also numbers with scientific notations, like these two last numbers. Then we have a string type, and you can create strings two ways. You can see hello Lua inside single quotes and hello Lua inside double quotes. And we have a function type, so you can assign functions to variables. And in Lua, functions are so-called first-class functions. And we have user data, which can represent arbitrary C data. And lastly, we have tables, and with tables you can create arrays, dictionaries or key value pairs, and also you can imitate some object-oriented programming. Lua is a dynamically typed language, which means you don't have to specify the variable type when you create one. So let's say you are in Java or C or C++ and you want to create an integer, you need to set it to int var1, let's say equal to var1, let's say equal to 8. In Lua you can leave out this part and just leave it as var1 equals 8, and the Lua interpreter will dynamically find the type of var1 by the value assigned to it. And yes, go to the next var variable, which will be a string. So hello. And let's create another var, which will be var3, and this will be a boolean, so true. And okay, just print them out. So print var1 and F6 to actually run the script. So it prints out 8, var2, F6, and it prints out hello. And var3 and F6 it prints out true. So if you want to use a variable which is not defined, let's say var4, to var4 will be automatically assigned the value of nil. So if you wanna print a non-existent variable, it will just print nil. Let's take a look at the type function, and the type function returns the type of a variable. So here I am printing out var1, which just prints out the number 8, and I'm going to separate it with a comma and also print out the type of var1. And now run it with F6, and as you see it prints out 8 and its type is a number. Now let's try it with var2, which is a string. So var2 and F6, and it prints out hello and also its type, which is string. And now var3 and var3, and it prints out var3, which value is true, and its type is boolean. And now let's create two more variables. var4, it will be just a function and var5, and it will be just a table. And now let's print out var4 and the type of var4, F6, and it prints out a function and its memory location and also its type, which is a function. Now var5 and its type, var5, F6, and it prints out the table and its memory location and its type. One more thing, in Lua, let's say here I created a var1, which is a number type. I can assign var1 to another type, let's say to a string, so Lua, and this is totally legal in Lua. So if you have a variable with, let's say, a number type, you can later assign it to a new variable, let's say a string type, and this will be total legal in Lua. If you want to add single line comments in your Lua script, you can do this by adding two minus signs or two dashes, and this is a single line comment. So everything which starts with these two dashes or two minuses will be not executed by the Lua interpreter. And if you want to use multi-line comments, you can do this with also two dashes and two square brackets. And between these two square brackets you can add a multi-line comment or comments. You can add multi-line comments. So everything which is between these two square brackets will be ignored by the interpreter. Lua has three types of operators: arithmetic, which are the plus, minus, multiplication, division, modulo, exponent, and a negation, which is also a minus sign. The next type of operators are the relational, so equals to, not equals to, bigger than, less than, bigger than or equal to, less than or equal to. And the third type of operators are the logical, and, or, and not. So I have here prepared some prints, so you can comment and uncomment multiple lines in zero brane using the Ctrl-U keyboard shortcut. And in the first print I'm going to add with the plus operator 5 plus 5, here 5 minus 5, here 5 times 5, 5 divided by 5, 5 modulo by 5, 5 to the power of 5, and here I'm just negating the 5. And here you can see 5 plus 5 is 10, 5 minus 5 is 0, 5 times 5 is 25, 5 divided by 5 is 1, 5 modulo 5, so this is the remainder, is 0 because 5 gets into 5 one times and the remainder is 0. And here is 5 to the power of 5, which is 3125, and here is just a negated 5, so negative 5. And now let's comment these out. Ctrl-U, and just uncomment these and also comment these out. So here I'm using the relational operators, so 5 equals to 5. I'm going to run it. 5 equals to 5, it's true. 5 does not equal to 5, it's false. 5 is bigger than 5, false. 5 is less than 5, false. 5 is bigger than or equal to 5, it's true. And 5 is less than or equal to 5 is also true. Just remember that Lua, for negation, Lua uses this tilde equals. So in other languages it is exclamation mark and equals, but in Lua it is the tilde and equals, which means not equal to. And the logical operators, I'm going to cover them later when I get to the conditionals. Let's take a look at the string and the string functionalities in Lua. So I'm going to create var1, and I'm going to set it to the string of hello, and a var2, and it will be world, so hello world. And now let's print it out with concatenation, so 2 dots and var2. So this is the concatenation operator, and it used to concatenate two strings together. So now it prints out hello world, and if you want a space between hello and world, just leave it here like this. So, and now it prints hello world with a space between hello and world. And the next thing, I'm going to just paste variable called string var1 with the string of hello Lua users, nice to meet you. And now let's get the length of this string var. So with the string.length method, and give it the string var and F6, and you can see this string has 34 characters. And even shorter way to actually get the length of a string is with this hashtag characters. So string var, and this hashtag character on string does the same as this function string.length. So it returns also 34. And now let's take a look at more string functionalities. So I'm going to print out the string.lower of string var, and also going to just copy this line and paste it here, and string.upper method. And the lower method just converts every uppercase letters or capital letters into lowercase, and the upper method does the opposite, so it converts every lowercase letters into uppercase. So now let's run it, and here it is, hello with the lowercase h and Lua with the lowercase l, and in this line everything is uppercase. So hello Lua users, nice to meet you. And now let's reverse the string. So I'm going to print out string.reverse the string var and F6, and now it prints out the reversed string. Now another good function is the sub. So string.sub method or function, and give it the string var, and also let's say the index. So in Lua indexing starts with 1, so this is age is the first index, second, third, fourth, fifth, this is the 6th empty space, so 7th character, and go to the, from 7th character go to the 8th, 9th and 9. So now it prints out just Lua from these. And if you want to print from the 7th till the end, you can just give it here the length of the string var and F6, and now it prints from Lua users, nice to meet you. So from here to the end. And also let's take a look at string formatting. So I'm going to comment all of these out, so Ctrl U, and just create some strings on the fly. So string.format with the format method, and the string formatting you need. So first of all, I'm going to type this out. So I'm just going to make a %, and after it an S, and another %, and after it another S. And now if I give it, I need to give here 2 strings. So hello, and in the other string will be Lua. So and now hello will be placed here and Lua will be placed here. So if I run it, it prints out hello Lua. Even better is just string.format, and let's say a % with an S, another % with a D for digit, another percent sign for another s, so string, and I'm going to give it a text of I can drink 10 beers. And now let's run it. And it prints I can drink 10 beers. So I can drink was copied into this placeholder, 10 was copied into this, so as you see D stands for digit and S stands for string, and beers was copied into the third placeholder. And now one more thing is just, let's say, print the string on format of the characters of Lua, so give it a C for character, another C, I mean without space, so and another C, and this is the character table, so L is 76, 117 is U, and 97 is A, so Lua. It prints out Lua. And just last function I'm going to show you is the find method in string. So in string.find, and give it the string var, and the string it should find, so Lua. Now this find method or function will search in this string for the Lua word, and it will print it out. I mean not the word, but its index. So Lua starts at the 7th index and ends at the 9th. So 7, 8, and 9. So here 7 and 9.